Welcome back to RTOD. I want to talk about something because I was going through some old tapes I had. I'm in the process of moving some boxes around the house, and I found a VHS recording of an interview I did with Aaron Carter in 2005. You see, at that time, I had a segment on a small half-hour television show that led into my church's full-hour broadcast. It was an hour and a half that we would purchase from WWCP-TV Fox Channel 8 in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. My show wasn't great. It was a small 15 to 20 minute segment out of that half hour that I would cover local things that teenagers wanted to talk about. Now, this was all a brainchild of the late Father Chuck Bridges and also, unfortunately, the late Dino Tessari. Both of these individuals pioneered the television mass out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and they are huge mentors and good friends of mine. You see, Dino and Chuck had a long history in television and radio. Dino was with NBC in New York and Washington, D.C., before he ended back in his hometown of Johnstown working for WJAC TV. Chuck Bridges worked on multiple radio stations as well as TV stations and his own print shop, also in Johnstown, before he went into the priesthood. In my early teens, up until I went to college, both of these individuals taught myself and a lot of young men and women everything about broadcasting. Some of those people have clearly, I mean, it's 20 years from now, but they graduated. They are working in television production environments now, whether it is for NBC, ABC, commercial television. A friend of mine does video broadcasting for a baseball team. There's a lot of us out there that have still stuck to our roots from St. John Galworth's televised ministry. But that really doesn't describe what we're doing here. It's about this interview with Aaron Carter. So in 2005, Aaron was doing a music tour that these artists do, and he stopped into Greensburg, Pennsylvania in the Palace Theater. Chuck was fortunate enough through his contacts to get me an interview. Now, this was the only interview that Aaron had on this leg of his tour on Western Pennsylvania. And I think right before it, he was on maybe Oprah. I think it was the Oprah Winfrey show. And I had a clear list of no-goes, things that I couldn't talk about. You see, when you start an interview with a celebrity, depending on the scenario, their team, their people will give you a list of questions you just shouldn't talk about, topics you shouldn't go into. And if I remember correctly, this was right after a disaster. I call it a disaster, but where there was a mattress incident. He ran over, his car caught on fire. That was on the do not ask list. But I remember asking that question. It might actually be on this tape. I haven't watched this tape yet. It's been 20 years, 19 years since I did this interview. And I'm really curious because I remember that the copy that I got was not the entire interview. And I know that mostly because it's on VHS. We shot this on DVC Pro, which was pretty much the de facto standard back then for broadcast media. I converted it over to VHS to have in my collection, but for some reason I didn't get the whole interview. I don't remember why. Doesn't matter. So we're gonna watch it, and really I'm doing this mostly just to preserve it because it's 20-year-old VHS that we've probably used in the production house before, so it's probably not the first recording of anything on it. Let's take a look, shall we?
Mikey, let's give it a try here once, stand by. And like I say, don't worry about introing. Okay? And Aaron doesn't want to see this.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, why don't you just start out? Thank you, Aaron, for blah, 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 blah. Okay. And we're rolling. Well,
I'm going to be performing it tonight. and I'm really looking forward to it. So, I mean, I love Saturday Nights. You know, it's a great single, and you know, it turned out really good.
Now, you were on Seventh Heaven along with a lot of other TV shows and in different movies. How is it working with the cast, getting to know them? Is it pretty easy?
I guess you can say so. I mean, with actors, you just become really comfortable with those people real quick, just because that's just the kind of personalities they have.
So it's just sort of easy to mingle in with them and that?
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
Most definitely.
Now, you had a performance a year and a half ago at a York County Fair. How is like an outdoor event like that different to an indoor one, such as tonight?
Well, I mean, it's more intimate, I guess you could say, with the audience, and I just become, more comfortable, when it's inside, because it's just, you get better sound quality, and and the fans too. You can hear them scream a lot more.
Yes. Now, how about school? How's school going? I guess you have a tutor?
Not anymore. I graduated 2 years ago.
Oh, graduated.
So yeah, with a high school diploma.
All right, great. Now, how about college? Do you have any plans?
I was thinking about it. It really depends on how my my career goes.
Yeah.
And so far it's so good. So
Great.
I guess I'll be maintaining that.
Right. Now, with the Backstreet Boys getting back together, do you have any plans to do like a show together with them?
That would be fun.
Right.
It would be really fun. I mean, I don't really know yet if that's what if they're gonna be out on tour or whatnot. But if they do, I probably will end up doing a couple shows with them.
Now, obviously, you have a God-gifted talent by going out and singing. Do you feel how do you feel when you go out to connect with the audience?
I mean, it's just, it's hard to build that kind of feeling and being comfortable with a whole bunch of people you've never seen before. And I guess just doing that over and over and over, throughout the years, it's just like you learn how to do that.
Right.
You just become comfortable.
Now, being as successful as you are, have you noticed that your friendships with regular people have gone down or went up more?
I would say gone down,
Really?
and the fact that it's hard to trust people. Pretty much, it's hard to trust anybody.
So you're finding more of the real meaning of true friendship?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Most definitely.
So you have lost a lot of what you thought were good friends?
Absolutely.
Really?
Most definitely.
Now, for younger people who want to pursue a career in entertainment, do you have any advice for them?
My advice is good luck.
Really?
And it's tough. It's not easy, and it's not all glitz and glamour like everybody, plays it out to be. It's tough. It's hard work, of course.
Yes. Now, just through your whole career, if you can have one word to describe your whole career, what would that be?
Wow. I would have to say amazingly crazy.
Isn't it crazy?
That's one word.
It's just a rush going.
Yeah, it's just sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, how are you with helping charities, especially with the tsunami that we've just had? Are you pretty open to...
I recorded a song actually for Tsunami,
Right.
and did it with a bunch of people, JoJo and Justin and Usher. So that's going to be released soon. So
Great.
definitely good with charities.
Now, of course, your little mattress incident. Everybody is real glad that you're okay from that.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was insane, man. I just
Really?
I ran over.
That's the last thing you would expect.
I
A
know.
mattress to come off a car.
I know. I just ended up bumping over a big pile of trash, and a box spring got caught under my car, and that was it.
Man.
Gone.
You're okay from that? No?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I tried to put it out, and
Oh, yeah.
my girlfriend pulled me away, but it was
Save the car, man.
yeah.
I know what you mean. You know?
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for giving me the time here.
No
It's
problem.
been great.
Thank you
and,
very
hey,
much.
Good luck.
All right, man.
Yep.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, all right.
Now, I'm not going to play the audio here for clear copyright issues, but we did get a lot of really good B-roll through the night. We stayed for probably 2 or 3 songs into his set. We did some interviews with people in the audience, but I do remember another segment of the interview that happened directly after. You see, when Aaron and I were talking in the room, that was in the green room in the back of the Palace Theater. After that, we went out to the stage. Now, we were still mic'd up at the time, and Aaron was showing me around. I didn't
at the time, I didn't understand that Chuck was still filming this. But Aaron would show me on the stage where different points he had to be for sets. Some of his dancers came out, and just kind of showing how things went. And then after that, we just hung out for a little bit. We had about a good 45 minutes before he had to actually start and get ready for his set. And the interesting thing, and I don't think I really understood this at the time, Aaron, well, he was a star, right? And I was just a regular guy, but really he was only a year older than me. So other circumstances aside, we could have hung out. But for that 45 minutes or an hour, we just kind of sat down. There was some green room snacks. We talked, we hung out, and we just did things that, dudes our age would do. And I think he really appreciated that because of how fast paced his life was. He was moving from show to show to city, and I'm not really sure he interacted with other, well, I call them kids now because I'm older, but other kids his age. And I had a really good time with him. I really appreciated it. I sent him a letter after the interview thanking him, and I actually got a handwritten note back from him. I like to think it was probably one of the more enjoyable interviews and, quite frankly, afternoons that he had in a while. Now, I want to close this out thanking Chuck and Dino, because without their support, their mentoring, and their confidence, I wouldn't have been able to, one, do this show. I was the third host of Teen Talk, and I had it for a short tenure and turned it over, and the show would come and go on hiatus. But a lot of what I've done in life comes back to the lessons they've taught me. Now, I'm not working in production television anymore, but because of them, I got my first and second job. I did work at WWCP TV Fox Channel 8 in Johnstown, and also WJAC TV in Johnstown as well. I did some video production, weddings, photography, stuff like that. Even in college, I worked at the college radio station, got us back on FM at the time. A lot of this was from their support and their mentoring, and really just sharing their decades of broadcast experience with myself and everybody else at the St. John Galway Cathedral Television Ministry. A lot of what I do on this channel, I still owe thanks to them. Now, my production values are nowhere near as high as even when it was 20 some years ago when I was still doing the television ministry. But a lot of their lessons still reign true. And I can't thank both of them enough for everything they've done for me throughout the years. And it is, well, both of them, I think, have gone too soon. I think that's going to wrap this episode of Retro Tech or Die. If you like what we're doing here, like, subscribe, and tell your friends.